Namaskar. Welcome to Supply Chain India, episode 10. Make in India is a serious government initiative to ramp up the contribution of manufacturing in gross domestic product to 25% and increase employment opportunity. Cluster development predates this new drive. After the recent Chinese military adventurism on the international border, Atmanirbhar once again gives a leg up to cluster development. Fulbright scholar and associate professor Dr. Venkat Sadikutti, currently at the Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, is a big votary of cluster development, a concept popularized by American economist Michael Porter in the 1990s. Dr. Sadikutti has been researching in this area for 2 decades, right from his Guindy Engineering College days. He opens up to share his observations in a freewheeling dialogue.
I've been associated with these cluster activities right from 1990s during my days of job at Guindy Engineering College, Anna University, Chennai. And Chennai industrial area is a very good in terms of implementing these cluster approaches. And we had a lot of interaction and collaboration, very active collaboration with the industry at Guindy Engineering College, Chennai. So since then, I am associated with these industry-related activities. And in fact, in the department where I was serving was the Industrial Engineering Department, which is a unique department in the entire country. And industrial engineering was a part of any other department, but the exclusive department was there in Anna University Engineering College. So since those days, I have been associated with the cluster development activities. And when I joined IIM Indore in 2005, there was a renewed interest from Government of India under cluster development programs. And the auto cluster of Indore was the another second beginning for me to actively interact with the local industry partners, particularly SMEs. And Pithampur industrial area is a very good industrial area with small companies as well as OEMs in manufacturing as well as other pharma companies, etc. in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. IIM Indore was at the mouthpiece of the industrial zone. So we had a very active interaction with the local partners, and we were conducting number of such programs also. And when Government of India industry infrastructure upgradation programs came, and there was a mega cluster project that came into that area. So IIM being the nodal agency, we had a chance to interact with those local partners, and in fact, I have developed a few things how to implement that plan on ground through government schemes, and hence at the end of the exercise, we had an opportunity to publish a couple of papers as well. So that was Indore journey, and after coming to NCR, particularly in IIM Lucknow. And I have been even associated with IMSME of India, which is a very active body of SMEs. And I have been doing these cluster activities. And in between, there was a wonderful project that came from Government of India to help the brass cluster of Moradabad in terms of improving their productivity and competitiveness, etc., etc. So in all these things, though it was a kind of field studies, I have converted most of those studies into journal publications as well.
So in which way cluster, the cluster development is different from industrial parks or what, those kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I'll come to that point, sir. And based on my experience of, let me start with first with auto industry, auto cluster at Indore. The auto cluster at Indore, one of the biggest challenges is though there was a SEZ and there are units outside the SEZ. And SEZ is different from auto cluster, and it's auto cluster, the schemes were focused on both on building the competencies, which are soft skills as well as technological competencies, as well as the basic infrastructure, common facilities, etc., etc. But one of the biggest difficulties that was faced by both the unit holders as well as the government agency was that what government wants to implement is slightly different from what the stakeholders want. For example, stakeholders want a good road, and whereas under cluster development scheme, there is no funding for specific infrastructure, for example, common road development. Inside the parks, there is the road infrastructure and power, water, etc. But when it comes to just outside that zone, the road is very bad. The road infrastructure is very bad. Logistics, particularly for auto cluster, logistics is the biggest difficulty. Inside the region was good, and there are certain schemes available to support that infrastructure development. It is like you have a fund for developing your house, but not outside of your house. See, the industrial infrastructure requires, the surroundings also, the ecosystem also needs a development. And this, I would put it in my language that the narrow scope of these schemes is one of the biggest challenges for auto cluster project. When it comes to Moradabad cluster project, what I have seen was that there was a common, manufacturing workshops, etc., being created outside the homes. Actually, these workshops are homegrown workshops. And the people, the artisans, all the family members of this family will be working at different points in time on different products. For example, engraving. Engraving, the ladies will work somewhere in the night, let us say from night 7, 8 p.m. to till 11, 12 p.m. also. That is the time where they will find their free time. Whereas the whole day they will be busy with so many other activities. When the government has established, for avoiding pollution inside the homes, they created a manufacturing infrastructure. But that manufacturing infrastructure is slightly away from the residential areas. The people to go there and work during flexible times was very difficult. And that was one. And the pollution levels of this brass industry is so high, the people are not aware. And it's altogether different, sir. The auto cluster project challenges versus the brass cluster project challenges is just square opposite. The health issues is the huge problem. And there are homegrown workshops. They're all small and very, very old. And it was taking a lot of time for them to meet the customer order. And they were not able to scale it up. Though there was a common facility center in Moradabad, but the people were not ready to come and build their skills. And in fact, when we did the study and suggested for a new entrepreneurship skills for particularly educated male and female, and educated female came forward in a big number, sir. And today, more than 500 women entrepreneurs at the ground level are working, and they have even developed export potential. And in spite of the recession, etc., I believe that the industry is doing reasonably well.
Yeah.
And in fact, we went back to handicraft commissioner, development commissioner handicrafts, and they said, can you do one other sequel study? But because of our time constraint, etc., I am yet to go back to them. And hopefully in course of time, I will be taking up that again and to see what is the impact of the first phase of the implementation or recommendations that we have done.
When you did this,
This one, we did it in 2012, sir.
My God, 8 years. Well, what
Yes,
about the auto clusters in Indore?
Auto cluster was around 2010 time frames.
Oh, my
8, 9, 10.
10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you are.
And in fact, sir, right now I am working with in fact, recently we did a similar kind of district development plan for Visakhapatnam, Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh, and Muzaffarpur in Bihar. There also we came across some of these handicrafts, and we suggested some of these recommendations to this. This is just got concluded from the Department of Industrial Promotion and Infrastructure Technology Development. This is the latest one. And currently, last few weeks time, I have been focusing on textile handicrafts, particularly from Srikalahasti. I come from Srikalahasti zone region, and Srikalahasti is famous for wooden toys, copper toys. Moradabad is famous for brass toys. There is a small village near Srikalahasti and Tirupati. There, one village completely focusing on copper toys, sir. And another village is focusing, entire village focusing on wooden toys. And Kalahasti is famous for Kalamkari handicraft. So I am closely working with them. I hope I will be able to translate some of my learnings with that artisans also.
Yeah,
And Etikopaka toys is one of the world famous, sir. And in fact, the market linkages and supply chain. Being a supply chain, I would say teacher. I'm not a practitioner, but supply chain teacher. The most important thing that all these unorganized or even less organized sector is facing is the miserable failure of supply chain, sir. Really, really a difficult task for them is the supply chain failure.
we take a short break. When we return on the other side, Dr. Sadikuti will turn the spotlight on the supply chain maturity of MSME players for whom the cluster development strategy was made.
Are you part of the new fleet evolution? The transition is already underway. Fleets are using data to manage smarter, keeping drivers safe, streamlining operations, keeping customers satisfied. This requires agility and the right platform. Did you know that 94% of road accidents are caused by human error? What if your drivers had an active coach, keeping them engaged and safe and reducing their stress? And what about your managers? What if you could cut their administrative workload and help them gain visibility and control of the fleet? Green Road supports you with one unified platform. Our advanced active coaching gives drivers clear feedback to help them drive more safely and efficiently, and keeps them motivated via personalized information and friendly competition. In the office, online dashboards keep the right information at your fingertips, freeing you to focus on exceptions and pressing issues. Whether you require an app, an installed solution, or other sensors, all are integrated into a single platform that helps you manage diverse operations proactively across the world. The result? Safe drivers, reduced risk, protection for your brand, and savings for your business. The Green Road platform is quick and easy to deploy at scale, even for fleets with thousands of drivers and vehicles throughout the world. Green Road.
Welcome back to Supply Chain India, episode 10. Dr. Sadikuti tells us what is missing. So, what is the maturity of supply chain practitioners in a big industry, big India in companies, big companies?
They don't even know what is supply chain, and this is the status of.
What do you mean?
They have no idea about what is how to source competitively or how to be efficient in terms of manufacturing or production and packaging and then distribution. They don't have any of these activities in the way it is supposed to be. When I talked about the supply chain, even for some of the educated artisans or the unit holders, they say that my job is to just manufacture. They are in silos. They are in silos, and the intermediaries, the traders who are collecting these things are I would say, making much more margins than the anybody in the chain. That value chain, I would even put it as the value chain of handicrafts, is in the hands of the intermediaries, particularly the traders. So they are the ones who is controlling the entire chain.
So even their awareness about, okay, if you use a term like a supply chain, it may look very esoteric. I know basically when we are talking about is packaging, okay, those kind of stuff, it's all very commonsensical. So the traders, don't they understand? Even at a MSME level, basically the traders are buyers who procure these items and to sell it subsequently. Are they not aware of the advantages of a better packaging, fetching better?
They are much aware, sir. They are much aware, and it is happening only for the export or where there is a significant margins. For example, when you go to any shop, the way they are packaging and selling it is reasonably good. I'll just give you one simple example of lack of packaging of an export unit in Moradabad, and they had a urn, which has generally been used for storing the ashes of the people who have died. And one container or one lot of 40 such urns have been dispatched to US directly by the manufacturer. And after it reached the client, there was a dent in few items, and the entire lot got rejected, mainly because he has sent just like a ordinary packaging. The entire lot of 40 units have gone, and he is supposed to collect it back and bring it back, and that is all the more costly. So what he did was he arranged somebody to collect those things and keep it with them. Who will keep 40 urns with them? So these kind of things were there for the some of the manufacturing unit holders.
Yeah.
Whereas the traders, they are reasonably aware of this and they are encashing it in the specific orders, not for the entire thing. As you rightly said, if they do for the entire production or the entire, I would say the entire business, then the value will be much more. But the changing of this mindset of these traders is very difficult. That's why I'm using the word traders.
See, even even the government of India, when it talks about Atmanirbhar and cluster development and all those kind of a Niti Aayog, all of them,
Yeah.
by promoting cluster development strategy, they will be able to really help many of these MSMEs to
Absolutely.
know these obstacles and educate them on the the right way, or talking about the proper transportation, proper packaging, how we can really, these are all the easy ways of value adding. Okay,
Correct.
you are not getting rejected. So if it isn't packaged properly, they would have really realized that good forex earning. Okay, so
Absolutely.
also made the a recommendation of educating them on these issues as well. Soft skills.
And in fact, recently during this COVID time, when there was a huge, I would say, pro-India products, I won't call it as negative other countries, etc. Pro-India context, pro-Indian consumption, one of the biggest areas of revival of economy will be the toy industry, sir. And what we have found from the numbers, that it has a huge potential for export markets, sir. Particularly Indian toys. There is a variety of Indian toys. You take any district. In fact, in UP also, one district, one product. Under one district, one product, there is a huge potential for toy industry, particularly both domestic and the international market.
As far as Indian Institute of Management Lucknow is concerned, which are all the areas now you are really focusing as per the cluster development strategy is concerned, in association with government, or either commissioned by government to do it, or your institution is doing on its own? Throw some light on that.
Yeah, sir, at the institute level, there are a couple of other professors also who are involved in these activities, and one of them has got retired also. But now, as you know, that working with this cluster project is not easy, sir. Let me put it in my language, because when you go to the unit holders, they say that, sir, we are getting on an average 2-3 people every week, not a month, sir. 2-3 teams will be coming and asking them that what you do, this, that, etc. None of them are getting benefited out of these studies, sir. And the support from these unit holders is almost zero. In the name of IIM, I was able to get something, and in fact, I told that this is not a international or voluntary project, but this is a development commissioner of handicrafts assigned project, and we are interested in your development. So with that, they were able to participate. The participation of these unit holders is one of the biggest challenges for our study, conducting our study. Now my current focus is, apart from these things, I am looking at the food industry, sir, particularly the homemade foods, snacks and other stuff. The homemade foods is becoming a very big potential. And also,
As a
yeah, and, yes, and the handicrafts, particularly the kalamkari and all, sir, they can do at a home level. So these are the two areas where I am focusing. And of course, Indore is also very famous for namkeen clusters, sir.
Yes.
Namkeen. Yes, and namkeen is one thing which is, Indore namkeen is very famous. and the Chapan Dukan, and they have stores in the foreign countries also, sir. So that is what is the food item. Food industry, there is a huge potential for that. Another one is this
Have you started,
the homemade art crafts.
Professor Venkat?
India,
Cluster development strategy in India versus cluster development strategy, because in US also I heard Michael Porter talking about it. Okay, so
Correct.
again they are talking about it. So what is the big difference between the way cluster
Yes.
strategy
Sir, our approach is is a festival like occasion, sir. It's like a festival like occasion. Once in a while we do some bits and pieces we do. And for example, now Moradabad, I wanted to go back and see what is the action impact of that recommendations. So there is no continuity, sir. Whereas if you look at Michael Porter, the strategy is completely continuous. What we are doing, what we are facing here is, there is even a funding, even if the funding is very small, that funding is for 6 months to 1 year. After that, it is zero. So it doesn't work like that. So when you are working with these stakeholders, you need a continuous hand holding of them, and we need at least, it is like a 5-year plan, sir. You have to spend enough time and resources on a continuous basis, which is missing in this country, honestly.
We take a short break. When we return, the Indian Institute of Management Lucknow Associate Professor is unsparing in his view on the government role.
10 किलो का यूनिफॉर्म, 12 किलो का एम्यूनिशन, 15 केजी का रक्सैन। एक सोल्जर जंग में दुश्मन से ये सब पहन के लड़ता है, और आप एक मास्क पहनने में हिचकिचाते हैं। यही तो है आपका हथियार कोरोना से लड़ने के लिए। तो एक सोल्जर आपसे कह रहा है, बनिए कोरोना सोल्जर, मास्क पहन के।
अरे ओ साहबा, कोरोना वायरस से बचने के कितने उपाय रे? सरदार 3। अरे साहबा, डरो मत रे, बोलो बोलो। सरदार, पहला है लोगों से दूरी बनाए रखना, बार बार साबुन से हाथ धोना या सैनिटाइज करना, और सबसे जरूरी है घर पे रहना।
अधिक जानकारी के लिए संपर्क करें स्टेट हेल्पलाइन या 24 घंटे वाली नेशनल हेल्पलाइन टोल फ्री नंबर 1075.
Welcome back to Supply Chain India episode 10. Is the government both at the center and state serious about cluster development? Asked Dr. Sajikutti. So what you're trying to say, Professor Venkat, is the money that is coming in bits and pieces, trickle.
Absolutely.
Like a Ganges, you want like a perennial supply of money and a longer.
Absolutely. And another important thing that is missing links, academia and industry and the government, which is not up to the mark as comparable with any other even small country like Sri Lanka. Of course, I have referred to lot of literature around the country, both the developed and developing countries, and even the Sri Lanka has a wonderful continuous schemes in comparison with India.
So you get your order, you get your assignments to study from the state governments or from the central government.
So these are almost all my things that I have done was from central government schemes, handicrafts as well as Ministry of Commerce and Industry. These are the two things that we have done. And in fact, at Chennai, it is our own initiative, sir. That is the university initiative in collaboration with the local partners, industry partners. It's not even state government. When you come to state government support is not even zero. I don't want to say negative, but it is almost zero. State governments, most of the state governments running with almost no fund. Now I am trying for developing a small capacity building exercise for Srikalahasti artists. And when I approached, I'm yet to approach through proper channel, but I made my attempt to know is there any small funding, even couple of lakhs. It's not about the money, sir. But we want to show that there is a seriousness from the government or one of the major stakeholders. And they say, for example, now Andhra government, he is, focusing only on the welfare schemes, not on the developmental schemes. So the state governments are struggling with so many other, resource constraint problems, and the central government impact assessment and some of the schemes, etc. They are sending the request to various IITs and IIMs, but the response from the institution side is also on a reasonably lower side because of a lot of administrative work, and the funding will not be sufficient. It is very difficult to even meet the minimum requirements of the IIM norms. For example, when we look at our professional charges, it is no way comparable with the kind of support that we can get from these government schemes. But still, we take up this because of the professional interest and our responsibility towards these particular stakeholders. So that's what is happening.
Yeah, Professor Venkat, you said that the state government show, like a very, poor interest or lack of interest. And earlier also you mentioned that, the stakeholders in various clusters, they said, like, har hafte koi na koi aata hai, somebody or other keeps coming, asking for the same set of questions, collecting data, but nothing is happening on ground. Because, what is the point? There need to be a quid pro quo. Suppose I go to a doctor, I tell what my problem is. If the doctor doesn't prescribe a medicine, then I totally lose interest in the doctor. So the similar stakeholder, he says that, look, all the people come and ask me questions, we respond, but nothing. Then we never hear anything about it. It's all paper gathering dust.
Sir, they are losing their wage day, sir. They are losing their day. And explaining them because of their passion for the product or the art that they are doing, they are explaining. To explain what they are doing, it takes minimum close to 1 hour for each artisan, sir. I have spent that much time. And what they are doing also knows, sir, and there was one of the Fulbright scholar also visited Srikalahasti artist few years back, and they don't even get the report of or some summary of that report what they have done. And this is where the information asymmetry or information sharing. Yeah. I have done a study on you, and I don't share that information with you. As you rightly said, your doctor is not sharing it, your own prescription with you. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay, great. Acha, so okay, last question, Professor Venkat. Does it mean, we should all give up all this, like, a pen and paper kind of a survey?
Sir, I partially agree with you, sir. Pen and paper survey is not sufficient unless they see that their revenue is increasing, sir. I was getting 20 rupees a day before the study. If I can get 22 rupees after my study or recommendation or whatever it is during my intervention, they will be happy to do that, sir. They want to see the visible benefits, sir. Unless the participant, the main stakeholder who is the artisan or the cluster unit holder, even in case of SME, let us say auto component SME, you have gone and done something, but they are not able to see the benefit of that, they will not be able to participate next time, sir. It has to reflect on their balance sheet in their pocket.
Well said.
Is there an improvement in my pocket?
That brings us to the end of Supply Chain India, episode 10. Hope you enjoy this capsule. Share it, subscribe, give your feedback. We'll be back with another edition soon. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye.